Okay, thank you, Lynn. It's a gorgeous shot, a spectacular early September evening in Chicago Soldier Field as we wrap up the first weekend of play in the 77th National Football League season. And the Dallas Cowboys will receive as Troy Aikman awaits his 1996 debut. Todd Sauerbrunn, who was their second-round draft choice last year out of West Virginia and had a dismal season, but has rebounded at least with a great preseason this year. He is their punter and their kickoff man, and back deep, number 85 is Kevin Williams, who starts on the other side from Deion Sanders as a wide receiver, and he'll see double duty tonight as we get set to start our 27th year of Monday Night Football as Sauerbrunn sends it down to the 3-yard line. Kevin Williams straight up the middle and then cuts it to the outside and takes it out to the 39-yard line where he's tackled by a former Cowboy, Barry Minter. Troy Aikman, 3 Super Bowl rings, and he was the MVP in the first of those 3 Super Bowl victories. Coming off another great year, 16 touchdowns and only 7 interceptions. And offensively, Emmitt Smith along with Herschel Walker in the backfield. Williams and Sanders outside. Johnston starts at tight end. 2-a Newton, Donaldson, Allen, and Williams. That offensive line averages 319 pounds per man. And Aikman to throw on first down and to the 49-yard line, but incomplete. Short hop by Kevin Williams for what would have been a 10-yard pickup. So Aikman's throw is low. It is 2nd and 10. Now Chicago's defense, and they'll have to get a lot better on that side of the ball with Spellman, Simpson for the injured Zorich, who's out for the year, Flanagan and Fontenot. Then the guys who man the linebacking spots, Kane, Brian Cox, and Vincent Smith, an ex-Cowboy. And in the secondary, Harris, the rookie, with Wolford. On the outside, Carter and Carrier are the safeties. Walt Harris, their #1 draft choice out of Mississippi State. Aikman to throw goes the other way, and that's incomplete off the hands of Darryl Johnston. And because of all of the problems, the injuries, the Irvin suspension, you'll see some familiar people on Dallas playing in different positions.
And we'll be seeing a lot of Herschel Walker tonight, too. And mainly it all stems from the problem there is really no talented tight end. Jay Novacek not even here tonight. You see Troy Aikman, an incredibly accurate passer, put it right in the hand, should have been caught, and I know that Darryl Johnston agrees with that. But we're going to see a lot of Herschel Walker tonight and a lot of different formations.
On 3rd down and 10, that was Johnston flanked out to the left. A flag is thrown. The catch is made at the 48-yard line by Deion Sanders for a momentary first down pending the penalty. What a strange formation. They got Johnson as the wide out to the left, Sanders on the other side. Ed Hockley is the official as he discusses things with the umpire and head linesman, and it's coming back.
They called illegal procedure against the Cowboys. I wonder if they had a formation that was legal. Eric Williams at right tackle was way back off of the football. That's what it is. You are allowed to be back on the hip of that center as an offensive lineman, but in an attempt to really gain an advantage, an offensive tackle will slide further and further back from the line of scrimmage, and Eric Williams was about 2 yards off the ball that time.
That might not be the last time we see that penalty, in as much as with these odd formations they're using, the Cowboys have never lined up, at least this way in the regular season. 3rd down.
Look how far Williams is off the ball again. That's an illegal formation. And he ought to be flagged again.
And he will be flagged again. And Aikman's going to go deep, and that's incomplete, intended for Deion Sanders, and underthrown a bit, and Walt Harris was covering on the play.
And not bad coverage by the rookie, and we're going to see a lot of him. They count on him heavily. The #1 draft pick, Walt Harris out of Mississippi State. But again, they have a flag. You had it, Dan. Eric Williams off the line of scrimmage.
And illegal use of the hands as well.
Well, needless to say, this will be declined by the Bears, and they'll get the ball with a Dallas punt.
There were 2 fumbles by the offense on the play. Illegal formation by number 79, lined up in the backfield. Also illegal hands to the face by number 79. Both penalties are declined. Brings up 4th down.
Ooh, what a beginning of the season for Eric Williams.
Eric Williams with 3 penalties on the first series. Here he is right here. You have got to be up on the line of scrimmage. An offensive tackle is not allowed to take that big of a break in getting back into his pass set. He's called for being in the backfield. And you'd think he would have learned after the previous call. To do it twice in a row is, you got to wonder what he's thinking.
John Jett to punt, and Bobby Ingram, the rookie from Penn State, back to receive it. Good kick, 46 yards. Ingram, who played for Joe Paterno as a wide receiver, takes it back to the 28. You can see Williams frustrated and angry with himself. An abysmal beginning to the season.
Well, I think he's complaining that he wasn't, Dan, but you played that position for a lot of years, and you spotted it right away. What was he trying to do with it? I mean, he's a great pass-blocking tackle.
It's just to get a head start on that defensive end.
Now, Eric Kramer, who set a lot of Bear single-season marks last year, in a breakout year for him, with Salam gone, Green and Harris in the backfield, Timpson and Conway outside, Jennings the tight end. And Heck Perry, Jerry Fontenot, Todd Berger, and Big Cat Williams at 350 pounds up front. From the 28-yard line on first down, the play fake. And in the pass to the tight end, Jennings, and he is ridden out of bounds by Darren Smith after a pickup of 6. The Cowboys now defensively. Tolbert and Haley didn't play much in preseason because of injuries. Back in tonight with Hennings and Lett at the tackles. Then the linebackers, 2 new guys, Broderick Thomas, who came over from Minnesota, Fred Strickland from Green Bay, and Darren Smith. And then in the secondary, Kevin Smith, the ever-present Deion Sanders, Marion and Woodson are the safeties. Darren as good as any strong safety in the league. Raymond Harris and Tony Carter in the backfield tonight. It'll be a mix and match in the Bears backfield this evening. Second down and 4, and they give it to Raymond Harris, normally a fullback, but with Salam gone tonight, playing a lot of tailback, and he has a first down up at the 39-yard line.
Well, if you're going to have to make a change, Raymond is a good one. He was a great All-American tailback at Ohio State, where he gained over 2,500 yards there as a running back. He was moved to the fullback position here with Rashaan Salam, and there is Salam, but he has moved back to that tailback spot, and he could be a real factor in tonight's game. Should be. The Bears want to run the football. They want to run, if they can, add Charles Haley over to their left side using their big tight end, Keith Jennings.
It's a nice
First down from the 39-yard line. They give the ball to Harris, and this time nothing happening. And it's Charles Haley. They may have run right at him, but Haley equal to that task. It will be second down and 9.
Maybe they better rethink that.
Well, no, I think the strategy is sound, Frank. I wouldn't bail out of it yet.
Ooh, and Keith Jennings limping off now, the tight end for the Bears.
The Spirit of Akron, the Goodyear blimp, flying high above Soldier Field. Piloted by Don McDuffin, providing the scenics tonight as Jennings comes out of the game. Ryan Wetnight takes his spot at tight end. It's second down and 9 from the 40. And Kramer's pass is somehow caught by Curtis Conway despite Kevin Smith draping him. A flag does go down at the 49-yard line. Smith is going to contend he was pushed off against. And Ed Hockley says, no, sir. Penalty against Dallas, an 11-yard completion and a first down.
That's going to go against Kevin Smith.
Holding by the defense, number 26. The penalty is declined. The play results in a first down.
Well, after 5 yards, you can't make that contact. You saw the holding there. Oh, and a good catch by Curtis Conway.
If that had been a tearaway jersey, Kevin Smith would have had a handful. Hey, how's this for a sloppy start by the Cowboys tonight?
First and 10, just across the 50-yard line. 3 minutes into the game with no score. Harris can't break outside. Nice tackle made by Hennings before he could get away. And Dan, the start tonight in such contrast to last year on opening night, Monday Night Football at the Meadowlands. Third play of the game, Emmitt Smith touchdown, and it set the tone for the season.
Yeah, well, you took it, 60 yards untouched against the New York Giants. They ended up beating the Giants 35-0. And you're right, a horrible offensive series initially for the Dallas Cowboys. Aikman, remember, bounced his first pass, threw his second one a little bit high to Johnston, then all the penalties. And now defensively, they've got a penalty that gave the Bears a first down.
Robert Green in the game in the slot to the left at the bottom of your screen. Kramer, a short drop. And then it's dropped by Green. Robert starting to look upfield before he looked it into his hands, and he's a guy who'll play a lot more tonight because of the absence of Salam.
Exactly right, Al, too. And he is a sure-handed receiver out of the backfield, but he was looking for a place to run after he caught it and just didn't handle it. Larry Kramer, coming off that great year of a year ago, had it right in there.
Third down and 8. Keith Jennings still out of the game, the tight end. And out of a split back set. Kramer throws that deep out. Beautiful pass. Caught by Timpson. And then Marion begins to tackle him, and Teague finishes him off at the 9-yard line. Kevin Smith went over the top. A tremendous catch by the former New England Patriot, who will see a lot more action this year because of Jeff Graham's defection to the Jets.
Kevin Smith went for the interception. He saw 6 points. That ball was high in the air over his outstretched arms.
But he didn't appear to be in that good a position to make a break on the ball. He's outside of it, and the ball's just over his head. Boy, a serious misjudgment by Kevin Smith in making a break on that interception.
Boy, and the Cowboy errors are compounding themselves.
It is first and goal, the nose of the ball on the 10-yard line. And straight ahead goes Raymond Harris to the 9. It will be second and goal after that 37-yard completion.
You know, it is it's wonderful to take chances, but sometimes you play a position where taking a chance, the odds are stacked against you. And Kevin Smith, just trying desperately to get a finger on that ball, isn't able to do it, and it goes to Timpson. That is a risk that at cornerback, it's just very difficult to take.
Kevin, of course, coming off Achilles tendon surgery from a year ago in the opening game, but they say he's absolutely 100%.
Second and goal from the 9. Good protection, and then the pass is knocked down.
I think Leon got that.
Yep. Big number 78 is 6'6", 291. Leon Lett. And Haley was also in the neighborhood as well.
You notice the Bears passing game to this point in time has not involved a lot of work to Dion's side of the field. Almost exclusively throwing it to the right. Every defensive lineman taught if you can't hit the quarterback, then you have to jump. Deion Sanders over there at right corner all by himself.
Third and goal. Kramer looking Deion's way, then throws underneath. Timpson makes the catch, loses the ball shy of the goal line.
It's live ball.
Picked up by Brock Marion. Out past the 40 to the 50. He loses the football, and the Dallas Cowboys with Woodson recover at the 37-yard line. What a bizarre play. The officials will discuss it. They'll discuss the end of the play. The Bears come within inches of scoring a touchdown. And the next thing you know, the Cowboys have the ball at the Bear 38.
Wannstedt arguing desperately that he was down, that the ground can't cause a fumble, but the ball out well before Timpson touches the ground. A very good call by the official.
He tried to hurdle into the end zone, Timpson did.
And watch who makes the hit. It's Deion.
Gone.
It's Deion Sanders.
It was subsequently fumbled. Dallas recovered, first down.
Brock Marion loses it here.
Bobby Ingram knocked it out of his hands. And here comes Bill Bates into the play at the end as well with Deion.
And Deion gets the whole thing started by making the hit on Timpson. And wouldn't you know it, a guy that has no reputation as being a physical ball player knocks the ball loose from Timpson.
From the 38-yard line, Emmitt Smith's first carry of the season. What knee injury? First down.
What knee injury? How about what blocking behind Larry Allen? Whoa, baby, if you're going to foul somebody around the corner, make it big 73.
But I'll tell you, he put a couple of jukes on. He put his tremendous effort on that leg of his. We wonder how it would work out. It's his left knee that is the bad knee. Watch him plant it to the outside and break on it right there.
Hello, Walt. This is the NFL, and that is Emmitt Smith you just saw going by you. Walt Harris, number 27, a rookie.
No brace on that knee for Emmitt, but heavily taped. He slides through the middle and picks up about 3 to the 23. Emmitt Smith in quest of a 5th rushing title this year. He's more than halfway to Walter Payton's career yardage mark, and if he stays healthy and plays as long as Walter, he'll get there.
Well, Barry Sanders challenged his healthy players to try to pick up some of the slack. He's got guys playing hurt. There's an example of one right there, Emmitt Smith. I'd say to this point, Deion Sanders is one of the guys that has answered that challenge with that hit on Michael Timpson to give the Cowboys this possession.
2nd and 8. They split Deion wide to the right. Johnston fronting Smith. And this time Emmitt is stopped. Breaking through is Joe Kane, the linebacker.
Good play by Kane, who is Bears middle linebackers, moved out to the weak side and slipped through the gap and was able to nail Emmitt.
Well, here's where the Bears go into their pass rush mode. Spellman goes to the inside. That's Brian Cox to the top of your screen, down in a rush stance.
3rd and 9, and they've got Johnston lined up as a tight end, and Deion makes the catch on a slant. He's close to a first down, might be close enough to measure at the 16. Tackled by Marty Carter. And as we widen out, you can see where the chains are. Very close to a first down. If it's not, it'll be 4th and an inch, and Barry's used to 4th and an inch.
Those are the kinds of pass patterns you're going to see from Deion. He's going to run you a fly. He's going to run you a slant. He's going to run a hitch. Nothing esoteric about it. No, not in combination with other receivers, but once he gets the football, you better watch it.
No, but this is a pattern where a receiver can take a big hit if the guy from the inside gets out there quickly enough, and that time it was John Mangum who was a little late. That receiver can take a big shot. And you can see a first down for the Dallas Cowboys. And, you know, quite frankly, guys, that's a pattern that a lot of people questioned as to whether Deion was going to run willingly. A pattern where there might be contact at the end of the play. We've seen Deion not shy away from any contact so far in this game.
That was Aikman's first completion of the season. 9 yards to the 21-yard line. Deion, chin strap flapping, split to the left, and now comes in motion from the 16-yard line. And they give it to Williams on a reverse, but the Bears smell it out, and Brian Cox makes his first impact play in a Chicago uniform. It's going to be a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down and 14.
Let's go back and take a look again. Here's an ISO on Deion Sanders. This is a Michael Timpson fumble. He falls back into the end zone, comes up, makes a play, goes right through the legs of Timpson. And, you know, that's something that Deion Sanders avoided like the plague in years past.
2nd and 14. And Williams makes the catch over the middle and then fights for another 4 yards to the 11, setting up a 3rd and about 5. Marty Carter makes the tackle with 6:05 to go in the quarter and no score.
Of course, with Michael Irvin gone for 5 games, Kevin Williams is the man they hope is going to be able to step up. We saw him on our final game of the season a year ago with over 200 yards against Arizona. And that was a remarkable night for Kevin Williams. He stepped into the big time.
And the week before that, he was the key player in their victory against the Giants, which really propelled them into postseason and the eventual Super Bowl win. 3rd and a long 4. And they give it to Smith. The carrier comes up from the safety spot to tackle him near the line of scrimmage and set up a field goal attempt. Mark Carrier busting through.
Oh, that's a big play for the Bears defense. They have had nothing but problems, or they had nothing but problems a year ago on 3rd down plays.
Now it'll be a 28-yard field goal attempt for Chris Boniol, who ended last year having kicked 25 in a row. This would be 26. The NFL record is 31, held by the recently retired Fuad Reveiz. Jet to hold it, and the kick is good. So he picks up right where he leaves off, and the Cowboys take the lead. 4:55 left in a fast-paced quarter. 3-0 Dallas. Bears wanted to go into the end zone, and they came within a yard, but the next thing they know, they look up at the scoreboard, and it's 3-0 Dallas. And Boniol to kick off. Jack Jackson to run it back. It's a short kick. Fielded by the second-year man out of Florida, who was injured all of last season. And with a flag coming in at the end of the play, he's tackled up at the 38-yard line by George Teague. Ed Hockley says holding against Chicago.
When you look at that bizarre series that happened last time, we'll get the call here from Ed.
During the return, holding by the receiving team, number 53. It's a 10-yard penalty, first down.
When you consider the Bears had to start playing defense on their own 38-yard line, they can't be really displeased with forcing the Cowboys into kicking a field goal. There is Keith Jennings sitting on the Chicago bench. He has strained a groin, and he is out for the rest of this ball game. A huge blow to the Chicago Bears. Chris Gedney, their other tight end, is already inactive for this game with a bad foot. They are down to Derek Ware and Ty J. Armstrong. Wrong team, rather. Ryan Wetnight is the only real tight end left on the Bears roster. There's Wetnight right there. And a big blow for the Bears because
before the snap, false start by the offense, number 89.
Dave Wanstead telling us he loved the matchup of Jennings blocking against Tolbert and Haley. Jennings going at 275 pounds. They've spent the last 2 weeks working on their running game with Keith Jennings handling those defensive ends. His being out of there is a big blow.
So they spent 2 weeks working on that, and they spent up until 11 days ago working on Rashawn Salam as part of that running game.
So now both the Cowboys and the Bears, colossal problems at the tight end position.
On 1st and 15, a draw play, and having trouble getting started is Raymond Harris, who goes by the nickname Ultraback, a guy they expected a lot of last year, but he got hurt on the second play of the season. We take our show up the shore of Lake Michigan next week, and we go to Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin for the first time in 10 years on Monday Night Football. The Eagles coming off their win yesterday over the Washington Redskins, and the Green Bay Packers, who demolished Tampa Bay 34-3. Eagles Packers from Lambeau next Monday night.
Not a bad opening for Brett Favre. 4 touchdown passes yesterday.
3 of them to Keith Jackson. Kramer on 2nd and 13 throws. Catch is made by Conway, who gets inside of Kevin Smith to make the catch up at the 22. It'll be 3rd and about 9.
And getting ready for that Illinois-Michigan game, I don't know how KJ got up there in time to really get a lot of quality practice time in.
Either of these teams would love to have Keith Jackson now.
Yes, they would.
Kramer continues to stay away with the passing game from the side of Deion Sanders, who want nothing to do with him.
3rd down, called it 8 up at the 22-yard line. Kramer hangs in the pocket well, throws into a lot of traffic, and in fact throws it out of bounds. Kevin Smith was back there with Bobby Ingram, the rookie receiver, and the Bears are forced to punt with 3:27 left in the period.
Kevin Smith, one of the real bright spots for the Cowboys. A year ago on our opening night, he tore his Achilles tendon, underwent surgery, and usually that'll take anywhere from 1.5 years to 2 years to come back from that, but he seems to be 100%. And that was good coverage right there.
Well, and how desperately they needed his return with losing Larry Brown, who went to the Raiders in free agency.
Sauer run to kick. Booming kick. 59 yards. Kevin Williams takes it back at the 12-yard line and gets necktied with flags littering the field up at the 25-yard line. Sauer run a big bust last year, but right there, one of the reasons they used a second-round draft choice, and he's applauded by special teams coach Danny Abramowitz.
Former Bear Jim Schwantz jumping up and down saying he didn't do it, he didn't do it.
Something tells me the men in the striped shirts are going to say that he did. Joe Avezzano, the special teams coach of the Cowboys, obviously upset because sometimes you can outkick your coverage.
Illegal block in the back by the receiving team, number 52. 10-yard penalty. Dallas will keep the ball, 1st down.
And what I mean by outkicking your coverage, here's the block right there by Schwantz. But when Williams has this football, when he caught it, there wasn't a Bear within 30 yards of it.
Dallas takes over at the 10. We recalculated a 67-yard punt by Sauerbrunn, a career long. From his 22, the line of scrimmage, to the 11, and now from the 10-yard line after the penalty, Aikman throws, and Dion makes another catch for a first down up at the 23-yard line, forced out by Walt Harris, their #1 draft choice. The Bears picking Harris and trading up. It's the first time the Bears traded up in the draft since 1976. They really wanted that kid.
They went from 18 to 13th by doing so, but Harris playing way off Sanders. He was given individual coverage, respecting the speed. Sanders, nothing fancy to the move to the outside, but Harris was off 5 or 6 yards and couldn't get back.
That's because he's locked up in man. The Bears come with the blitz, but they showed it too early, and it got picked up handily by the Cowboy offensive line.
Johnston is the motion man, providing the leverage up front for Emmitt Smith, who takes the ball up to the 27 for a gain of 4. And Emmitt's former teammate, Vincent Smith, who was a Cowboy, who was then traded when Wannstedt came to Chicago. Dave said, I'll take one of my guys from Dallas, and he picked Vincent, and he's been a mainstay for them. Offense and defense now for Deion Sanders. We talked about the fact he thought he could go about 100 plays tonight. 10 of 12 on offense and all 13 defensively. And so he's played 23 plays already in under a quarter. Aikman throws, and Herschel Walker makes the catch up at the 37. The once and current Cowboy, who was picked up, they thought, as a luxury, but now he's more of a necessity.
He can do so many things for you. He's a good blocker. He could move up and play tight end if you had to use him there. He could be an H-back for you. He can play the wide receiver, and this time he again gets respect for the speed that he still has, moves to the outside, and Aikman, incredibly accurate, hits him right in the hands.
What Herschel has always done, Frank, as you know, is operate well in space. Extremely effective pass receiver, knows when to make his cuts.
Emmitt Smith closed down after a gain of 3 by Kane with 1:45 left in the quarter, and Dallas leading 3-0.
One of the problems that Emmitt Smith and this offensive line puts on the defensive secondary is you almost have to use your safety man up there. You saw Marty Carter in on that tackle, and that means you can't get the double coverage you'd like to have on a Deion Sanders. And of course, if Michael Irvin were here, you get that single coverage all the time because the secondary is playing the run, and it really puts a lot of pressure on the corners.
But the Bears have no choice. They're going to have to do it. They have to stack the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 8. They send Walker in motion. Aikman throws over the middle to a wide open Kevin Williams, who has a first down to the Chicago 48, tackled by Marty Carter. Well, some innovation there. These guys they're missing Irvin, they're missing Novacek, but innovative formations tonight using the field, and Aikman appears to be in pretty good rhythm right now.
And it really comes off what was really a desperate preseason. They did nothing right. They knew it. They admitted it, and I think they had to wonder about coming in here tonight.
1st and 10. Walt Harris has been flip-flopping. He's going to whatever side Deion's been on. Play fake to Smith. Sucks in the linebackers, but there's still double coverage, and Carrier drops what would have been a pick at the 7. Carrier and Harris back there double teaming Deion.
It's an easy interception for Mark Carrier. The problem is Walt Harris is tracking the football as well, and he gets there and knocks it out of Carrier's hands. I think Mark Carrier ends up with an interception. You can't blame Harris.
And Aikman, I think, was just throwing it away and didn't quite throw it far enough.
Carrier's having to avoid Harris.
Carrier loses his shoe, and he's had to come out of the game for the next play with Marshall in. You saw Deion go off. Deion takes himself out of the game. When he needs a blow, he puts his hand up and steps off. So he's on the sideline right now from the 48. And Emmitt Smith picking and threading his way to the 44-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 6. Brian Cox on the stop.
I think Deion's going to come back in after only just a few seconds of rest on the sidelines.
And he'll get a few more seconds because that figures to be the final play of the quarter. First quarter is over at Soldier Field with the Dallas Cowboys leading the Chicago Bears 3-0. And Monday Night Football returns after this message and a word from our ABC station. The backdrop formed by the Ferris wheel at Navy Pier. Light breeze, as you can tell, at Soldier Field. Start the 2nd quarter. Al Michaels with Frank Gifford, Dan Dierdorf, and Lynn Swan. Dallas on top. 3-0 and 3rd and 6 from the Chicago 45. Aikman under some pressure, throws underneath. Emmett Smith, and breaking up the play, former Cowboy Barry Minter. Loss on the play, and Dallas will punt.
Trying to figure out whether that was a screen or just a dump off, something they may have picked up from looking at game tapes. But they certainly had no one in front of him.
No, if it's a naked screen, if it was
a screen, they should dump.
That was a dump off that should be dumped. You're right.
Bobby Ingram back to receive John Jett's kick. Jett floating it down the middle and a little too deep. George Teague diving for it but couldn't stop it. Chicago has it at the 20 early in the second quarter. 3-0 Big D. 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. That schedule of games highlighted by USC and Illinois, and then on the West Coast only Utah, Stanford late, 4 o'clock Pacific. Chicago starts from the 20 on this drive, and Raymond Harris over left guard for a pickup of 4 up to the 24 as we take a look at the numbers through the first 15 minutes of play with the Cowboys on top. 3-0.
And the one turnover belonging to the Bears, a fumble by Timpson that directly resulted in that possession of the Cowboys starting at the Bears 38 that ended up with 3 points. Dallas had the football longer, but the Cowboys up 3-zip.
Robert Green picks up close to 4 to the 28-yard line. It'll be 3rd and a short 2, long 3 coming up. Fred Strickland picked up from the Packers, making the stop as you look at Venerable Soldier Field. It's a relic, it's an antique, it's got a lot of charm, but the owner of the Bears, Mike McCaskey, says, I'm out of here when this lease is up after the 1999 season. Dave Wanstead, remember, he came to Chicago from Dallas, where he was the defensive coordinator under Jimmy Johnson. 3rd down and 2 from the 28-yard line, and a great play knifing through was Fred Strickland. We just talked about him, picked up from Green Bay, stopping Green, and he's the guy taking Robert Jones's spot and wearing Jones's old number.
Well, a run blitz on the part of the Cowboys. They flared both defensive tackles out, shot 2 linebackers right into the middle, and it's a guessing game, and boy, did they guess right. Robert Green, absolutely no place to go. The Bears don't have enough blockers to account for the blitzing Cowboys. A dead play.
Now Sauerbrunn drops the snap. He's in the end zone, and he'll kick it out from there. And boy, he makes the most out of a horrible play with a flag down. The kick's a beauty. Well, it rolls dead at the 29, and there's a marker down as Sauerbrunn got hit.
Well, first of all, there's no penalty for hitting Sauerbrunn. The penalty will most certainly be the Bears illegally downfield because their guys leave. They don't know that the ball hasn't been kicked. But once the ball is rolling around back there, there's no such thing as roughing the kicker.
They take a beat, they take a count to themselves, and then they go downfield, and they'll be illegally downfield.
Do not estimate what a brilliant play that was by Sauerbrunn to get that ball out of the end zone. He thought about taking a safety. There was nobody from the Cowboys close enough. Great job getting rid of the ball.
Well, he realized the Cowboys had a return on. They didn't have the pressure on, so he had time to do it.
The other guy breathing a sigh of relief is the snapper, the new snapper, Rob Davis, with the injury to Gedney, who'd normally be the new snapper. Rob Davis was picked up to do the deep snapping.
I think the Cowboys' only choice here is to force them to kick over.
A member of the kicking team, number 92, was illegally downfield before the punt. That's a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay 4th down. There was no running into the kicker foul because on a scramble, that action was legal. Repeat 4th down.
Attaboy, Ed. That's
right on top of
yeoman work.
Very effective use of the referee's microphone, letting the crowd here at the stadium know what's happening.
You know, not a bad snap at all. Sauerbrunn just didn't handle it.
Right at his face mask. He sees those every day in practice.
Ed Hockley keeps giving those descriptions. After is going to call and make him join the union.
Rob Davis is the new snapper for the Bears, and they haven't worked that long together.
Well, that
put something on it.
That was a good snap. That was Sauerbrunn's mistake.
Good snap here, and a wobbly kick. Flag is down. He got hit that time. did Sauerbrunn, and Williams runs it back out to the 45, but Sauerbrunn got hit that time, and the flag is down back at the 10-yard line.
Another bizarre series of plays, and the Bears are going to maintain possession.
It was 4th and 10. Now remember, if it's running into the kicker and not roughing the kicker, it makes a big difference here.
The difference between just a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down. I don't believe they could call this roughing the kicker.
Yeah, they're saying it's
5 yards.
And that's what Carrier is indicating to the bench.
So this will still be 4th down. Just now 4th and 5.
That was Jim Schwantz.
Running into the kicker by the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty only. Repeat, 4th down.
Schwantz just loves hitting Sauerbrunn. Schwantz is the guy that hit Sauerbrunn in the end zone. Schwantz is the guy that got the call on the Williams punt return that brought it back.
Joe Avezzano looked like he was ready to hit somebody too, in a striped shirt.
Former Chicago Bears, Schwantz, traded to Dallas in '91. Big special teams player, man.
This is the never-ending punting game of the Chicago Bears.
Well, one thing about it, we know that Sauerbrunn's leg is warm. From the 25-yard line, 11:56 in the half. That's the time remaining. It's 3-0, and Sauerbrunn hits this one down to the 32-yard line. Kevin Williams will do it again and gets ankle tackled up at the 40 by Rob Davis. Joe Avezzano, he's a treat. 11:45 to the half. 3-0 Cowboys. At the spectacular shot toward the northwest, downtown Chicago, the loop. Gorgeous night. Deion Sanders, who's been playing on both sides of the ball tonight. And I'll tell you one thing about that punt sequence. That provided a fortuitous extra breather for Deion. That whole sequence of Sauerbrunn punts. Deion off the field for a while, plus the commercial break, so he's fully rested. From the 40-yard line as Aikman throws, a duck caught by Deion, who seeks the first down and is out of bounds just about at the marker at the 50.
Frank Harris again laying way off, Dan.
Would you agree with me, Frank, that if you're going to have success with Deion, you have got to jam him at the line of scrimmage?
Well, I thought they would.
You cannot. I did too. I'm a little surprised that the Bears are giving him this much leeway leaving the line of scrimmage.
Walt Harris, the rookie out of Mississippi State, the first-round draft pick, he's not even in the picture. Not there yet.
Talking to Lynn Swann last night, and I was asking him about the release off of the football, and that's one of the hardest things for a receiver to learn, how to get away from that jam at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 1, and Moose Johnston on his first carry of the season picks up a first down to the 49-yard line.
And the Bears just aren't forcing Deion to make that adjustment. They're not forcing, they're not forcing him to show that he has learned how to release a good bump and run jam at the line.
There's Walt Harris. We talked about him earlier, the first-round draft pick. The Bears trading up from their 18th position in the draft to 13th, and he is a good one.
He'll be outstanding.
Again, he drops off. That means he's not going to get deep out.
From the 49-yard line, here's Emmett on a sweep. Turns nothing into a 7-yard pickup and gets banged out of bounds by Marty Carter. And Al Fontenot, after he broke the Fontenot tackle, Carter rams him out in front of the Cowboy bench.
To get outside, you need a pretty good block at the corner, and this time the Cowboys got it from Kevin Williams, a wide receiver. A lot of times it's got to come from a tight end to pin somebody down. This time they come down with a wide receiver and get Emmett to the outside. Everybody's taking turns blocking for the Cowboys.
10 minutes to the half. Cowboys leading 3-0. Second and a long 3, and Emmett gets to the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd and less than 1. Al Fontenot makes the tackle. Well, Troy Aikman tonight, well chronicled, of course, playing without Michael Irvin, playing without Jay Novacek, who people have referred to as his security blanket. And when he has played without Irvin, they are 1-10. But the qualifier on that, of course, is that most of those games took place before the Cowboys were reinvented under Jimmy Johnson. That was early in the Johnson regime when they had a bad team.
Eric Williams, Larry Allen, Donaldson,
3rd and 1, and Emmitt Smith. There was nothing to the right, so he just stutter steps to the left and picks up the first down. Tackled by Simpson.
Boy, that's so easy to do behind those big guys. Larry Allen, I think they average 317 pounds across that offensive line. And when they just go with a straight zone block, Emmitt Smith that's popping in there. He's only about 5'10", 5'11".
He cuts right behind him. Cuts right behind Tuanay. Mark Tuanay, number 71, came down to the inside. You see him right there. You see he's 5 yards downfield. Yeah, well, he took his Chicago Bear with him that far.
From the 37. Aikman. Herschel Walker. First down to the 21-yard line. Tackled from behind by Sean Harris, who's replacing Vincent Smith, who took himself out of the game momentarily.
Again, Herschel can do so many things. This time working out of the backfield. And a good receiver. Always has been.
10 years ago this weekend, he made his NFL debut on Monday Night Football. Dallas against the Giants in '86. Then, of course, he went to Minnesota in the trade that really made the Cowboys. From there on to Philadelphia, to the Giants for a year, and now back home. Literally home, because he lives in the Dallas area.
In his 3 years in the USFL, he's rushed for over 13,000 yards.
Williams on a reverse. Smelled out beautifully by the Bears.
Boy, did you see Brian Cox get out in the flat?
That reverse just a little slow in developing, just a half a beat slow. He had Nate Newton out in front of him, did Kevin Williams, but too far out in front of him. It was just, took him a little too long to get across the Dallas formation.
And Cox showing some good speed to get back into it. He bought the fake and then recovered and was able to trip up Kevin Williams. There he is.
Yep. That gave the Bears time to react.
2nd and 9. Blitz, and the pass is underthrown. Intended for Kevin Williams. Looks for a flag. Doesn't get one. Wolford covering.
Boy, that's one they should have had. There was a good pickup of that blitz. Cox coming from the middle. He is a good blitzing linebacker. He used to do a lot of that with Miami. He did it from the outside really well. And he gets picked up here and stood up
by Emmitt Smith.
3rd and 9 from the 20.
Well, for that kind of money, he ought to do more than just run with it.
Blitz again from everywhere, and Aikman goes down, but a flag is thrown.
I think the Cowboys move.
May have been.
Looked to me like Eric Williams was rocking back in his stance early. And that is directly attributable to the Soldier Field crowd.
Before the ball was snapped, false start by the offense, number 79. It remains 3rd down.
Eric Williams whistled. That's his 4th penalty of the night.
But that was the loudest this crowd has been yet tonight. And that's clearly a case that Williams doesn't hear the snap count.
So there was no play.
Williams is the closest one to your screen here. You see that? There he goes. And then he doesn't bother to block Barry Minter and just lets him go on around the corner.
See the little head fake by Barry Minter, though? He recognized that noise would be affecting Williams. He gave him a nod and drew him off.
Well, Williams knew that he was wrong, and he knows it's a false start, and he knows it's a dead play. It's just with that much crowd noise, nobody can hear the whistle either.
Ed Hockley has yet to signal the ball ready for play. It'll be 3rd and 14 at the 25-yard line. They put 3 seconds back on the clock. 7:14 left in the half. 3-0 Cowboys. They have to get to the 10 for a first down. And Aikman throws and underthrows a wide-open Kevin Williams at the 7.
Oh, the one that should have been caught. A 3rd straight blitz. Another flag is down.
Did you see the block by Emmitt Smith? I want you to look at the block by Emmitt Smith picking up the blitz off of the corner.
Well, somebody was holding. Then
it wasn't Emmitt. I want you. This is as good a block as a running back can possibly make. Watch the right side of your screen.
Number 61.
There is Emmitt Smith. Look at the block he puts on John Mangum and goes after him again. That is absolutely sensational.
And the Cowboys backed up again.
You will never see a running back block any better than that right now. Here it is from the other side of the field. Mangum, 26, is headed for Emmett, and he is sorry he got there.
It is a holding call against Dallas, and Chicago has chosen to accept the penalty to take them out of field goal range. Otherwise, it would have been a 42-yard attempt on 4th down. 3rd and 24, and Aikman tries to get them back into field goal range and does, taking it to the 24-yard line, where he's stopped by Alonzo Spellman. But Chicago had the choice of declining and letting Boniol attempt a 42-yarder. Now, as it turns out, he will attempt about a 42-yarder.
Think this guy's not a competitor?
4th and 14 from the 25.
Emmitt Smith puts on a textbook display of blocking, first picking up the blitzing Brian Cox up the middle, and then puts it on John Mangum.
Now Boniol's streak on the line here, a 43-yard attempt. John Jett to hold for a 27th consecutive field goal over 2 seasons, and Fawad Revez's streak is safe, as Boniol misses for the first time since the 3rd week of the 1995 season. 6:21 to the half, 3-0 Cowboys. Soldier Field in Chicago.
We will play with our toys.
Oh, we got some great toys.
Oh, boy.
I guess what John Mangum heard when he ran into Emmitt Smith.
Bears have it after the missed Boniol field goal from the 33-yard line, with Dallas up 3-0, and Eric Kramer off the play fake throws, and the catch is made by Curtis Conway up to the 45-yard line. And the Goodyear blimp, that's the Wrigley building, spectacularly lit on the banks of the Chicago River, the Spirit of Akron floating high above Lake Michigan and providing some incredible shots on a very clear night and warm evening.
What a beautiful city. Every time I come over into the city, I can't get over how clean it is. Just love to walk around the downtown area.
From the 44-yard line, Robert Green finds nothing but white shirts and turns it into a 7-yard gain. Great effort, individual effort by Green, tackled by Marion.
Well, he did. He did all of that on his own. Robert Green, a free agent, picked up in '93 by the Bears from the Redskins. Good receiver out of the backfield ordinarily. There's a Joe Gibbs find out of William and Mary. Played a couple of years for the Redskins before coming here, and has been a very versatile performer for Dave Wanstead.
And much used tonight, of course. Again, Rashaan Salam injured, hamstring, questionable for the Washington game next week. Green again for a first down to the 44-yard line. Stopped by Broderick Thomas and Fred Strickland.
And now the Bears getting to utilize one of their strengths, which is their offensive line. So much publicity goes to their counterparts over on the Cowboys. But with Big Cat Williams at right tackle, Berger, Fontenot, Perry, and Heck, this has developed into a fine offensive line here in Chicago. Only 15 sacks allowed last year. They're getting better and better at the running game. This is really the heart and soul of this football team.
Better and better at the running game. That great pass protection, enabling Kramer to have by far a career year last year. And this time Eric throws and completes another pass to Michael Timpson in front of Deion Sanders at the 32-yard line, and the crowd loves to get all over Deion.
Timpson gave a little move like he was going to take it deep. Sanders bought it, and it was perfect timing between Kramer and Timpson. Sanders wasn't all that far out of that play. He's out there on single coverage. He's lined up straight ahead. Timpson looking in. Timpson will give it a little fly pattern. Sanders has got to respect it. And Kramer with a perfect delivery.
Hate to have a ball floating in the air anywhere that close to Deion Sanders. You have to challenge the guy. You can't pretend like, you know, they can't play to that side of the field.
Play clock was down to 0. They get it off, and it's a trick play with Conway, a high school quarterback, throwing, and it's caught by Harris for the touchdown.
Oh, they were trying to cover him with Darren Smith. Smith in a very unfamiliar environment.
That was an amazing play. They almost got a delay of game penalty. They were a half a second away. It's the second completion of his career, and the high school quarterback throws a pass underneath to Harris, and Chicago takes the lead.
Frank, you're right about Darren Smith, and you know what? I think he just lost track of the football. He's pretty much running with his man, but he just lost track of the ball, didn't know the ball was coming down, and kept right on going when the receiver stopped.
Huerta with the extra point. Carlos Huerta supplanting the longtime kicker, Kevin Butler. They just get it off before what would have been a penalty. Conway to Harris.
Well, Curtis Conway gets a touchdown pass to Raymond Harris.
As Sauerbrunn kicks off, and it's a beauty into the end zone. The crowd's adrenaline transferred right into his kicking foot for the touchback, and they're adrenalized because of this play.
Here it is. It's the reverse, but instead of taking it, he stopped. Now, Conway gives it everything he's got. He almost falls down in the effort in throwing this thing. But this is really good coverage by Darren Smith. He just loses track of the football. It's underthrown. Raymond Harris makes the adjustment. Darren Smith keeps on running, and Curtis Conway gives the Bears 7 points.
Monday Night Football in Chicago. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Dierdorf, Lynn Swan, year 27 for this package. Good one in Chicago. Bears on top 7-3 against the world champions. You look at Brian Cox at middle linebacker. Aikman retreats on first down from the 20 and slings one into the arms of Deion Sanders, who's been his favorite target tonight for a first down up at the 30-yard line. Walt Harris with the coverage.
Well, he should remain his favorite target with the way Walt Harris is covering him. They're giving him single coverage on him, and even when he gets help to the inside, he's laying off 5, 6, 7 yards. Looking at Sanders, but Sanders with no fancy move to the outside, just a little angle back to the sidelines, and Troy Aikman with an incredibly strong arm gets it there so quickly.
And they don't give him the first down. He has to get to the 30-yard line, so it is second and an inch. And a 9+ yard gain, and Emmitt Smith, of course, can pick up a lot of inches and 10 yards as well. Marty Carter makes the tackle. First down, Dallas. That much time left in the first half. Deion Sanders, we mentioned at the top, he said he thought he could play 100 plays tonight. He's on his way. 24 on offense and 20 on defense, and he's caught 4 balls. 44 out of the 50 plays in the game.
It's really a remarkable display of stamina.
Bloodied but unbowed, as you can see on his shirt. From the 40-yard line, a screen is set up to Moose Johnston. And the Moose barrels his way into Bear territory to the 48, where Carl Simpson, the tackle, goes back to stop. And there's a flag down at the 38, and it appears to be coming back. It's a hold against Dallas.
Mark Tuinei was the Dallas Cowboy making a block at the point of attack, and Tuinei's having to leave the field. He waved over to the sidelines, and he needed to be replaced.
It looked like they were going to bring it back, and then they were indicating that it might work against the Bears.
Checking his eye. Tuinei, of course, had been somewhat questionable for this game, having been injured in preseason.
By the defense, number 96. The penalty is declined. The play results in a first down.
Well, originally they signaled against Dallas. Instead, now it's number 96 defensively. That's Al Fontenot. We come to the 2-minute warning with the Bears on top 7-3.
Time live. Right now it's live for George Hageman, who's had to replace Mark Tuinei at left tackle.
Tuinei looks like he might have had a contact lens problem. He was searching around in that left orbit.
And some mistiming in the backfield as Emmitt Smith goes next to nowhere. Stopped by Barry Minter. They work on Tuinei. It is a contact lens, as you can see.
And Dallas going to a hurry-up offense here. No huddle for the Cowboys.
Second down and 8 from the 48-yard line, and over the middle, reaching for it but unable to make the catch, is Kelvin Martin, who used to play with the Cowboys and bounced around Seattle and Philadelphia, was on the street, and they picked him up recently to become their number 3 receiver. at least until Michael Irvin gets back.
Well, here's where they really miss Jay Novacek. And he, of course, is such a major factor in the hurry-up offense.
Another guy named Michael Irvin.
And Michael Irvin, of course.
Yeah.
But the two of them together, what a great combination on that strong side.
Situations like this, when Cowboys would convert this third and long into first down, I think something like over 60% of the time, it was Novacek and Irvin. One or the other.
3rd down and 9. Aikman looks one way then the other, as he does so beautifully, and it's cradled by Deion Sanders for a first down at the 35-yard line. 5 catches tonight for Deion.
I can't believe that Walt Harris must have been told, whatever you do, don't let him get behind you. Again, he is off 5-6 yards, covering in single coverage, but you've got to come up, and you can't give him everything like that.
Cowboys take their first timeout. Chicago on a Monday night where the Bears are leading the Cowboys at Soldier Field, just south of that picture, 7-3. The Cowboys with 2 timeouts remaining have the ball first and 10 at the 35-yard line. Mark Tuinei is back in the game. Big number 71 at left tackle. Contact lens problem resolved. He sets up as the Cowboys send Sanders to the left. Johnston in motion. Williams to the right. And Aikman throws, and it's picked off at the 10. Great coverage. Marty Carter was there as Troy threw into traffic, and Chicago with a big turnover up at the 40-yard line. Tackle made by Emmitt Smith.
Well, Troy did really throw into the traffic. The roll was to the left side. And Marty Carter was just playing at center field, looking into Aikman's eyes. Aikman locked in to the receiver all the way, threw it right into the hands of Marty Carter.
Again, though, look how this play finishes off. Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith makes the tackle on Carter along the sideline. Tough for Emmitt to do much more than he's done the first half.
1:20 left. The Bears have all of their timeouts. They begin from the 38-yard line. Kramer with that patented short drop, and then the pass is incomplete. May have been tipped. He was looking Timpson's way. 2nd and 10. 1:16 left in the first half, and coming up at halftime, we're going to welcome Chris Berman aboard, who will have halftime highlights 90s style, and then we'll have a chance to speak with Jimmy Johnson, who'll join us live from Miami in the afterglow of that victory yesterday. I know Chris Berman has to be very upset that Rashaan Salam Rai is not in the game tonight. Hang in there. He'll be back in there probably next week, Chris.
Glad to have you, Chris.
2nd down and 10 as Raymond Harris goes next to nowhere. Aikman looking on after throwing the interception.
Always room for one more on this road show, right?
Well, you know, Kramer is questioning the call. I think he questioned that call, and I think he's questioned the one he's got. I think it looks to him like the Bears want to go inside with the lead, 7-3, not try to set up a field goal or get into the end zone.
3rd down and 10. And that's almost intercepted. Boy, that was a bizarre sequence of plays. Tony Casillas back again with the Cowboys, knocks it down. And now they've left the Cowboys with plenty of time and 2 timeouts as they're forced to punt. That was Carlos Huerta warming up for what he hoped would be a field goal, but they're not even close.
And I don't think Gary Kramer is happy at all with the calls that were being sent in. In fact, he ripped his helmet off and he came to the sidelines, and they're talking to him right now, trying to cool him off.
Strange play calling. A sour run. Punts. Kelvin Martin is back to receive it at the 15-yard line. And they fake it, and it's to Raymond Harris, who scored the touchdown. He has 2 men to beat now, and he's finally stopped at the 15-yard line by Kelvin Martin.
Oh, Danny Abramowitz, this is your life.
Timeout says wants that.
I wonder if that was set up all the way to make it look like they were willing to run the clock out. Eric Kramer came off the sidelines, ripped his helmet off. He was upset with the play calling. Then they come in with the fake punt.
Oh, a special team coach's finest hour. Danny Abramowitz, the coach of the Bears special teams. The block is on by the Cowboys. Tailor-made for a fake punt, sour run right to Raymond Harris. Just couldn't have been executed any better.
Timeout Bears. The game within the game, Danny Abramowitz, the special teams coach on one side, Joe Avizano sullen on the other side. First down, Chicago from the 14-yard line. They have 1 timeout left, 25 ticks remaining. Dallas shows blitz, and it's incomplete, intended for Timpson, who was locked up with Smith.
You know, you go back to that fake field goal. That is one of the advantages of this Bear coaching staff, knowing the Cowboys so well. For that to be effective, you have to know that the rush is on. And when you see their punt team up in the line, they knew it was going to be a rush. The Bears did. And so the fake is on. And that is really knowing a team well when you're able to tell when they're rushing versus when they're falling back on a punt return. Dave Wanstead knows this Dallas Cowboys team inside and out.
That's why you can't afford to get in a pattern at any time in this game.
Chicago with 2 timeouts remaining. It's 2nd down and 10, and it's lofted incomplete. Woodson with great coverage on the rookie Bobby Ingram. So you've got maybe the best strong safety in the league covering a rookie.
So he is. He's covering a speedy wide receiver, and he is one of the best run support safeties in the game today. Darren Woodson with good coverage.
3rd down, 14. Bears with 19 ticks left, on top 7-3. On 3rd and 10. 4 Bears into the pattern, and the pass is nearly picked off by Marion at the goal line, intended for Bobby Ingram. 4th down. Wanstead grits his teeth and just hopes right now for a 31-yard field goal.
And that ball thrown behind Bobby Ingram.
Yep. They got what they wanted, didn't they, Frank?
They certainly did.
The Cowboys came with the blitz. They're 3 deep, lined up across, man to man. Just a poor throw by Kramer.
31-yard attempt by Carlos Huerta, the new Bear kicker. The first time the Bears have had anybody but Kevin Butler in that regular role since the mid-'80s. Todd Sauerbrunn to hold. And Huerta, who played at the University of Miami when Dave Wanstead was an assistant coach, bangs it through. 11 seconds to the half. Bears extend their lead to 7. The columns of Soldier Field.
They're vibrating right now with the energy from this crowd.
Yeah, superb coaching job thus far on the part of Dave Wanstead and his staff. They came into this game, and early on they lost Keith Jennings, the tight end. He was going to be an integral part of their offense. They've adjusted beautifully, and he's done a fine job against his former team.
The Aikman interception leading to a field goal, and Sauerbrunn boots a ground ball to the 5-yard line. Kevin Williams runs it back up to the 25-yard line, and Dallas with 1 play remaining as Anthony Marshall makes the stop. Well, Troy Aikman, as we said at the very top of the show, said before the game, he says, you know, I really don't know what to expect tonight. It's been a pretty fascinating first half. Very low scoring, but it's a strange ebb and flow to the first 2 periods.
Coming off that preseason when they moved down to Monterey, and they had an entire football team was back in Dallas watching the preseason game, and they never really caught their breath during preseason. They could never make the big play. They never made a 3rd and 1 in preseason.
Well, last year the Cowboys played only 1 first half of a game without scoring a touchdown, and they've just done it tonight. What a difference a year makes. At the half, Bears 10. Cowboys 3. Jimmy Johnson, Chris Berman coming along at the half, and we'll be back after this message from the National Football League and a word for ABC stations.